Hello there guys, RMP792 here. Well, I said that I would, try and do these Game of Thrones based ones sort of on a weekly basis, so I might as well. Once again, there will be full spoilers for the second episode of Season 6. Are we on now? I think we're on Season 6. Regardless, this latest season. So, spoilers abound, so if you haven't seen it yet, there will be spoilers. Okay, I think you've had enough warnings now. So, that last shot. Yeah, we've all known that was coming for a long time. Let's face it, pretty much as soon as he got killed, everybody was saying, well, it's obvious how he's going to, Melisandre is going to bring him back to life with her magic. So, I'm going to open this window. Alright, this curtain a bit, actually, so we can get a bit more light in here. But yeah, so, even though we knew that pretty much had to be the solution, it was still reasonably well handled. It wasn't a big surprise or anything, but that's okay. The rest of the episode, however, had a few surprises, had some good moments. So the Iron Island stuff. Oh god, they're going into the Kingsmoot plotline. I have read the books for the record, and I don't remember a goddamn thing about the Kingsmoot plotline because it was really boring. And I'm a guy who likes political, infighting and that kind of stuff in my fiction. So yeah, hopefully they can make that less dull. But I suspect the Iron Islands is going to end up with a really terrible king. Because let's face it, at the end of the day, why the hell would you give the job to anyone competent? So that's going to be messy. On the plus side, Theon's heading back there, so maybe some good will come out of that. But I doubt it. Because let's face it, they didn't listen to Theon before he was, because let's face it, they're going to make comments about him being half a man and all that bollocks. As a result of what Ramsay did to him, which, let's face it, Ramsay pretty much broke him. And, he is, let's face it, the reason he wants to go back to the Iron Islands is because he knows he'll be miserable as hell there and he doesn't think he deserves anything better. So then you've got Sansa and Brienne, who... I'm liking the fact that they're doing the obvious sensible thing. They're heading for Castle Black. So hopefully there'll be some interesting stuff there. Again, a lot of plot lines continuing, but without sort of anything massive. Best scene in the episode: Tyrion and the dragons. Because let's face it, Peter Dinklage in that scene is acting against, at best, he's acting against a tennis ball on a stick to basically give him an indication of where it's meant to be. But he does that scene so damn well. It looks like he's seeing something that's striking him with pure awe and revelry, and just and something that's just truly amazing to him. So all props to him in that scene. And I really like the bit where he lets one dragon loose, and then the other one sort of roars at him a little bit, and then turns its neck, as a kind of come on, me next. That's a really nice moment because you really do sort of sense how intelligent the dragons actually are in that moment. So I think Tyrion's right. I think that keeping them locked up is a very bad move. So the problem is, how do you prevent them from, killing and burning and looting everything? Because that's why Dany had to lock them up in the first place after one of them murdered a child. So they're intelligent, but are they intelligent enough to distinguish between things that are food and things that they could eat, but they're not allowed to? And that's going to be an interesting dilemma for them to deal with. So yeah, that was hands down the best scene in it. The death of Roose Bolton. Hell yes! The bastard is dead! Nice to see some people who actually deserve it getting killed. On the bad side, he was killed by his own son, who is now in charge, and holy balls is that not good, because, let's face it, Ramsay is a complete psychotic. As shown by the fact that, incidentally, Game of Thrones, thank you for not actually showing us the woman and her, newborn baby getting ripped apart by wild dogs. Thanks for the restraint. Because I did not need to see that in graphic, gory detail. And I wouldn't have put it past you at times. But, so yes, he's oh God. He's a complete psychopath. At this point, somebody needs to kill him. And quickly, before he completely destroys everything in the north, basically. The Karstarks are working with him pretty much because, well, the Karstarks are just arseholes who are still ticked off about, Robb executing their father. Which, okay, that's a good reason to be ticked off, but why the hell would you throw your lot in with a bunch of psychotics who literally have a flayed guy on their banner? That's just mad. But anyway, so yeah, I like the fact he's dead. The fact that it was Ramsay who killed him actually makes perfect sense. Because Ramsay, he trusted Ramsay, and that was a massive mistake, because the guy is insane. So yes, that was a good scene. Glad to see it. What else did we have? It feels like a lot of stuff happened, but I'm having trouble remembering. Oh, the zombie. Specifically, what's he called in the book? Sir Strong? Something like that. The guy who is blatantly the mountain's corpse wandering around. I mean, let's face it, there's a reason why I call the Maester Frankenstein. Partially it's because I can't remember his name, but mostly it's because, well, he was trying to raise the dead to create a sort of Frankenstein's monster type thing, which is clearly what this thing is, because let's face it, he just stands there, smashes the guy's head against the wall so hard that it just completely shatters. So yeah, good scene, and just establishes how creepy this guy is. The stuff between Toman and his mother, he's now firmly back in his mother's pocket, which is not going to be good for the kingdom. I maintain that if Marjorie and Cersei could actually manage to work together, they would probably be the most dangerous force in the Seven Kingdoms. But while they're infighting against each other, they're wasting all their resources fighting each other. Because let's face it, they are two equal and opposite forces. If they work together, they could be incredible, but as long as they're infighting, they're not a threat. But with Marjorie temporarily neutralised because she's still in the tender care of the Sept, that's a problem. So, what else do we have? The stuff with Bran. Yep, we knew we were going to get a lot of flashbacks and seeing lots of different places and things like that with Bran and his powers, so that's fine. So yeah, the fact that they've clearly shown us the older sister, Lana? Can't remember her name. Jon Snow's mum. Yeah, if you're not aware of that fan theory, I'm firmly subscribed to that fan theory that Jon Snow was not Ned Stark's bastard son, but was actually his nephew. Because we know that when he found his sister, after she was kidnapped by the Targaryens, she was quote unquote close to death, and he made some sort of promise to her. The fan theory, and it's one I hold to, is that she'd basically just given birth to Jon, who is actually a Targaryen. And knowing that, she basically made Ned promise to keep her son safe. And knowing, of course, that... oh, God, we're going back so far at this point. What was the king's name? The king would have just absolutely murdered any Targaryen he came across, even a baby. Especially one who would have reminded him of that. Ned basically did the only thing he could. He claimed that Jon was his. So that's the fan theory, and it's one that I subscribe to. So I suspect we're going to actually get to see, the stuff at the Tower of Joy, which is why they made sure we remembered who the sister was. So yeah, that's the fan theory that I subscribe to, and I think it's going to hold true. Any other good scenes? We had a little bit with Arya. She's off the street now. She's back in the temple, and she's clearly not going to get her eyesight back for a while. But at least, she's now no longer having to beg on the street, which is, nice for her. So, yeah. What else? I feel like there was more that happened, but no, I think that was about it. But yeah, so good episode. Some plot lines have moved forwards. As in particular, the stuff with the Boltons and the stuff at the wall. There was the wildlings turning up and sticking Alistair Thorne in the pokey, where the bastard belongs. So goodness knows what's going to happen there. And I've got to say, I love the bit with the guy who tried to shoot the giant with the crossbow, and the giant just sort of looks at it, and with this, really? And then just grabs him and smashes him against a wall, and you just think, yep, do not screw with a giant. Because there aren't many of them left now. In fact, I'm pretty sure 1-1? I think it's 1-1 in the books. It's something like that, anyway. Is about the only one left at this point. But, yeah. But yeah, as I say, some good scenes, some good moments, some serious violence, and yeah. So yeah, very much typical Game of Thrones episode, high quality, and look forward to the next one. Nothing much else to talk about. Again, it's plot lines advancing, things going on, but the only major events I would say was the death of Roose Bolton, which I think is going to have some pretty serious consequences, because I suspect Ramsay is going to be a really psychotic leader. And let's face it, his father was never exactly the sanest of individuals, but Ramsay is really nuts. So anyway, so yes, I think that's basically all I've got on this episode. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in future videos.